What's that, Morgana? Fallout 76 beta details, you say? It's about freaking time. Holy crap. Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today. We have so much Fallout 76 beta details to sift through. I have a lot of thoughts on them, so it's best that we just dive straight in. All this information is coming from Bethesda Net, as well as their frequently asked questions page for Fallout 76. They will both be linked down below in the description if you want to check it out. And now, let's get right into it. We're excited to announce our beta Break It Early Test application will arrive first on Xbox One on Tuesday, October 23rd, and 1 week later for PlayStation 4 and PC players on Tuesday, October 30th. During the beta, one of our primary goals is to stress test and break the game. As such, the servers will not be running 24/7. Instead, they'll be online during targeted timeframes so we can get as many people as possible playing at the same time. Why? Because that's the best way to put all our systems to the test and see how they respond. Now, if you weren't aware, Fallout 76 does come out November 14th, so the earliest you can play this game and start stress testing is 3 weeks before launch, which pretty much is a given that any drastic issues with the game, if there are any, is not going to be patched out until probably after launch. It's just such a short period of time. Now, there is a potential bright side to this, which I'll highlight multiple times probably throughout this video as we go through the news, is that Bethesda is making Bethesda Net a must in Fallout 76, and according to them, this is so that they can get updates out very snappy, very quickly. Now, say that does turn out to be true, we haven't really seen that put into practice yet. Perhaps I will eat my own words, but at this point in time, I really don't trust the idea of a beta 3 weeks before launch fixing a game with potentially a lot of problems. And I don't even know why I say potentially, because this post very much admits there's going to be a lot of issues with the game, which we'll get into in a second. Xbox is getting this one mad early. I mean, it's not like The Division, where I think they got like a weekend ahead of everybody. I mean, this is a full week of people playing before PC and PS4, which is going to be a large chunk of the player base. It's interesting how they're also going to be handling the beta itself. It's not just going to be like any other beta where it's constantly playable the whole way through, but rather they're going to say, for example, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. this evening, the beta for Fallout 76 will be available to play. So everybody's going to try to sign in at that time, and Bethesda's going to try to figure out if their servers can handle that amount of people trying to sign in. Now on to the next bit of news. On any given day, the game might be up for anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. Focusing as many players as we can into these windows is our prime objective. Then we'll fix what we need to fix and do it again and again from the start of the beta until a few days before launch. We'll give you as much heads up as possible because we need you to log in during these times and play the game. We'll also keep you posted through our official Fallout and Bethesda Studios on Twitter, as well as Bethesda Net forums and the Bethesda Net status page to learn when servers will be online. Alluding back to the Bethesda Net debacle on whether or not this will help with patching the game, they are also talking about how this beta is not only starting very late, but different from a lot of titles, it's running very close up to the launch of the game. They say up until a few days before launch is how long this beta is going to be running for. So it's not only going to be around for a while, but on top of that, with it leading so closely to launch, it gives a lot of consumers time to play the game, figure it out, and decide whether or not they're going to be interested and even bother picking up the full game, especially with all that time to play the title. Having a 4 to 8 hour range to play on a daily basis sounds good to me. It almost sounds like a job on top of a job for most of us. Like, all right, we got to get in after work and we got to stress test these servers. This is an exciting new journey for Fallout and for us. During the beta, you will likely see a glorious array of issues, many we know about and many we don't. We need your help in getting the game ready for launch and beyond. We think you will love playing the game as much as we do, and your continued feedback is critical to craft the long-term experience over the years to come. For additional details on the beta, please see our updated beta frequently asked questions, which I will be getting into for you guys. Okay, so here's where I feel the wheels start to come off a little bit, because they're talking about this glorious array of issues. They're saying that we're gonna fix this game now and beyond. They're really painting the long-term picture in your head. And the way that they're talking about it, I can't help but think of early access titles, ones that clearly aren't ready to launch, but they are being tested by players for extra marketing, for extra discussion. And of course, Fallout 76 is going to be a $60 game, so they're profiting off of a potentially unfinished product. Now, I'm not saying that's what Fallout 76 is, because I haven't played the game, but they're highlighting this glorious array of issues and how there's going to be so much that they know that's broken, but there's also stuff that they may not know that's broken. I can't say I'm surprised, because we've talked about this for a while. I mean, this is Bethesda Game Studios' first foray into multiplayer gaming. There are going to be a ton of problems, and you're kidding yourself if you don't think there's going to be. It's just about how bad these problems are, how big they get, and how quickly they are solved. They are at least aware of how fast they need to have them solved, because player bases die like that on these types of online games. But man, I can't help but feel a little rubbed the wrong way about how they're saying, come in and help us fix the issues, when as a gamer, I know there just isn't a lot of time for them to get the proper fixes in there if there's a really broken weapon, some balancing issues, severe bugs that they may not have encountered. I mean, it's just a little concerning. Now, before we even play the beta, October's really going to be the month of Fallout, because before we play the beta, we're going to get access to a lot of information. As you wait for the beta to begin, we will be showcasing much more of the game in the next few weeks, including tips for multiplayer, wasteland survival, character builds, and customization, and more. Plus gameplay. Lots and lots of gameplay. Keep an eye on the Fallout website and social channels for news and updates about Fallout 76. Fucking finally! Oh my god, it's about time they just acknowledged it, like, yes, gameplay. We're showing you gameplay. I love the Vault Boy marketing stuff, but if it was just a supplemental piece to the gameplay, it would be incredible. But we just gotten the Vault Boy running around doing stuff that's apparently in-game, and I'm like, I just want to see it in-game. That's all. So finally, we are going to see actual gameplay. It's going to be a really wild couple of weeks leading up to the beta. I imagine it's going to be a once-a-week thing as we progress along. Of course, up until the final video itself, which I imagine is going to be based around the beta and how you're fully prepared for it, and that one might be more of a Vault Tech, Vault Boy style video. In preparation for the beta, we have already begun hosting smaller timed stress tests. These tests include randomly selected players who are under NDA playing in top secret vaults. Our friends at Vault Tech deemed these tests necessary for readying the servers for players around the world, both for beta and launch. Now, what can be concerning about this is that Bethesda is doing the same thing that they did with the Fallout 4 DLC, randomly selecting people, telling them they signed an NDA, and then putting out game codes and letting the players test it, which leads inevitably to leaks, almost always. So don't be too surprised if in the coming weeks you see some snippets of gameplay or something about Fallout 76 pop out that was from one of these NDA testers. It almost always happened with every single piece of Fallout 4 DLC. Is it as significant as pre-launch gameplay before the release of a big title? No, because it was just Fallout 4 DLC, but I think them implementing this same system that clearly did not work into Fallout 76, a little on that one. Now, before we shift our attention over to the frequently asked questions section, where we will get some more details on the game, there was also the intro trailer which had dropped for Fallout 76, and pretty much this is what you're going to see when the game begins. It's actually what they called an in-engine trailer, so none of this that you're looking at is gameplay. I analyzed it for any type of new details, and there really wasn't much to take away other than it looked like maybe you could take a goat. I would be so happy if you could just take the goat. Again, please. I missed the goat. But yeah, it's just kind of a lot of setting up the world. They talk about Vault 76 being set up. This is the future's brightest people, and if the nukes are to drop, this is where they're gonna go to go out later and rebuild the wasteland. Now let's take a dive into that frequently asked questions section. Do I need a Bethesda Net account to play the beta? Yes, you will need a Bethesda Net account to play the beta on any platform. Signing up for a free account is quick and easy. Console players can also sign up for Bethesda Net accounts directly in-game. I thought this was important to highlight because I've talked about in this video multiple times how Bethesda Net's going to play a core part in the experience of Fallout 76 when it comes to updating and patching the game and making it mandatory for everyone to have a Bethesda Net account likely is a testament to Bethesda making sure that this is the system they keep in place. I understand how frustrating it is to have to sign up for another account. I feel like every time I start up a 2K game or an EA game, they're always telling me to sign up for their site or something. It's like I'm sprinting and someone just drops a stop sign right in front of me and says like, nope, not right now are you gonna play this game. You gotta sign up first. What is the download size for the beta? Can I preload it? The beta will be approximately 45 gigabytes in size. Currently, the beta will not be available for preload. That stinks because that's a very juicy, succulent download size and we can't preload it. So we're just left to all download this beta at 45 gigabytes the second it drops. I just hope that they look into making preloading an option for those of us out there who don't have the best internet and have to wait a very long time for a 45 gigabyte download to ensue. If I participate in the beta, do I need to re-download Fallout 76 at launch? Console players will have to download the official launch version of Fallout 76 on November 14th, even if you downloaded and played the beta version. However, PC players will not have to download a separate version of the game. So yeah, if you're a console player, and as I mentioned earlier, if your internet's not that good and you still want to play the beta, you're going to be downloading a 45 gigabyte game twice over, no preloading. Maybe the launch game will have preloading, but still, you get the point. Here's an interesting one. I saw footage of players earning atoms while playing. What are atoms? While you play Fallout 76, you'll earn a currency called atoms by completing various gameplay challenges and achievements. The currency can be used to acquire in-game cosmetic customization items for your character, earned entirely by playing the game. Once Fallout 76 officially launches on November 14th, atoms can also be purchased separately for real money if you choose so. I hate multiple currencies in video games. I can't tell you how much I cannot stand it. It like grates my insides to think of multiple currencies in Fallout. Caps and atoms. So this is your little microtransaction avenue here. You have a separate currency. You can earn it in-game. That's great. I'll see for myself just how much you can earn through the in-game challenges and achievements you complete. We saw a sample of a challenge being completed when the player reached level 4 and they earned a pack of perk cards. So I don't know if it's just gonna be challenges as simple as kill 100 enemies, kill 500 enemies, or if they're gonna be fun, unique world challenges that make you seek out areas and do unique things inside them. That would be cool, that would be engaging. But here's the truth. They put these systems in there to make money. So something has to be held back from the player to make it at least somewhat encouraging to say, I'm gonna spend my money on this. I originally wasn't super worried about microtransactions in Fallout 76 because they were cosmetic, and to be honest, I'm still not worried. I don't think that'd be the right word. And allow me to emphasize that, because on my Twitter account, when I was offering my thoughts on the general inclusion of atoms in a microtransaction system in Fallout 76, people thought I was upset that there were microtransactions in general, which is not true because we've known about this since June of this year. It's more so that Bethesda's 1 for 2 in my eyes when it comes to microtransactions. I thought they did a great job with Fallout Shelter, introducing microtransactions in that game, but not letting it be intrusive to the core product. However, later in Fallout Shelter's life, I did find Nuka-Cola Quantum to be a little intrusive on the game's mechanics. But then when we look at Creation Club in Fallout 4 and Skyrim, while it was non-intrusive, it was incredibly anti-consumer, and it was a system that had a lot of potential for the future of Bethesda Game Studios games that was misused as a cash grab. So yes, while I'm okay with cosmetics being the microtransactions in the game because that's the least of all evils, I don't trust Bethesda's pricing schemes, and I don't want consumers to be taken advantage of, and I think that's something we should all fight for together. But I had imagined it initially being just all through caps. So you earn caps through completing quests, looting, trading, and then you could spend those caps in this online store where you could spend real money to buy these items. Last but certainly not least, do I earn trophies / achievements during the beta? Though we plan for your gameplay progress to carry over to the official launch of Fallout 76 on November 14th, you will not be able to earn trophies or achievements during the beta period. As someone who loves their platinum trophies, I hope that at least upon starting up the beta, let's say I'm a couple of quests deep, maybe there's a trophy for being level 10, I'm level 12, that they at least pop the trophy because I have hit beyond level 10. They just give me all the trophies when the game has officially launched with all that carryover progress. I mean, fingers crossed on that one. I'd like for Bethesda to answer that. But anyway, so that's all we've got for the beta details on Fallout 76. When it's all said and done here, after going through all this information, it's official to me that I feel very different about Fallout 76 than I ever could have imagined when it was first announced. You know, I've never thought of myself, someone who's loved Fallout for so long, to see a new Fallout game coming out and be like, cool. I mean, you guys saw me during Fallout 4. Granted, I was much younger, I learned a lot, but I was off the walls. And I didn't expect to be off the walls with another Fallout announcement, but I'm just hoping Fallout 76 surprises me. You guys know I love Bethesda Game Studios, I love Fallout, I want the best for this game. But I can't help but feel a little off with how they've approached this title, the hiding of gameplay until now, October, 1 month before launch. The beta only being a minimum of 3 weeks before launch. Items currency, no NPCs. I mean, I think we all have a right to be concerned here. I just want Bethesda to prove us wrong and to not really take the approach of this is one of those titles that a year and a half from now we're talking about how it's finally the game it should be. I want it to be good and enjoyable at launch and not this super buggy mess. And I think after the Witcher 3 versus Fallout 4 debacle, and then you had Creation Club launch, the whole issue with review copies for Bethesda, they lost a lot of points with consumers. The last thing they need is for the next launch from Bethesda Game Studios to be a freaking train wreck. That would be the worst thing to happen to them. Could they ever bounce back from it? Yes, but instantly everything about Starfield and new IP from Bethesda Game Studios is going to be viewed with skepticism amongst consumers when this could be a title that shows encouragement because Bethesda Game Studios could try something new and maybe do it right. We'll see in due time. I just wanted to rant a little bit at the end there because, as you guys know, I'm a really passionate Fallout fan, and I can't say like I'm super stoked, but I'm curious. That's been the word for Fallout 76. I'm very curious. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Do fire away, ladies and gentlemen. Also, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.